is 10 a.m. on Sunday afternoon. What the fuck did I just say? Hello friends, so it is about 10 o'clock and that means it is the start of a 24-hour readathon that I'm doing with my friends Ebani and Jess. We decided last week, I think, that we wanted to do a really casual 24-hour readathon, and Ebani made a really cool bingo board, which I will put right here. And I am actually super motivated to get a bingo because I don't think I've ever successfully done a bingo board in any of the readathons that I do because I normally fail at readathons. As you may have seen, I'm in the middle of 15 books. Am I gonna read those 15 books? Not really. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Well, one of them I am, but I picked two shorter books on my TBR. And so one of them is Pizza Girl, which is actually one that I was kind of already reading, but I'm going to restart it. And then I am going to be reading A Song Below Water. And hopefully, because these two are small and there's a bingo board motivating me, I will finally get out of my damn reading slump. Please. Please, God. But as for right now, I'm gonna start Pizza Girl. I found the audiobook at my library and I'm gonna listen to the audiobook and do a few chores. And I think we're gonna go to a garden. So I'll bring you along on that. But for now, I'm going to make some caffeine, some type of caffeine and food. I finished Pizza Girl, I went outside, I'm feeling pretty good. I've finally finished a book and I was excited about it and I really liked this book. I definitely don't think this is a book for everybody, and it's not necessarily because of the trigger warnings, which I will put on the screen, that come with this book, but it's more of the fact that this is a slice of life moment where you're looking into these people's lives at a really messy and difficult time, and all of the characters are making really bad decisions. And despite the fact that this is written in a way that you shouldn't like the main character in theory, I actually felt an immense amount of empathy for this main character because she is pregnant at 18 and she's very apathetic about the situation that she's in. She's also pretty apathetic about most things in her life, and it seems to be the way that she deals with grief because on the inside, her internal dialogue is basically her screaming out what she needs and wants and really feels in a moment, but her external dialogue is very dialed down and apathetic. And I really, really liked reading a character like that. I don't think I've read many characters that have that struggle of internally you want to scream out what you're feeling, but externally it's really difficult for you to show your emotions and allow people to see that and to help you. And I really, really empathized and connected to the character in that way. I also cope in my life with dark humor, and this is a lot of dark humor. So if you enjoy dark humor, I think that you'll probably like the writing style in here. It can be cringy at times, but I connected to that because it's definitely a coping mechanism. I really enjoy this, but again, I don't recommend this to everybody. I definitely don't think this is going to be for everybody. I feel like if you don't like dark humor and you're not capable of empathizing with the main character at any point in this story, then you're not gonna like it because it's from her perspective and she's making terrible choices. So yeah, I think I'm giving this a 4 stars. So now I'm gonna pick up A Song Below Water and I think I'm gonna start playing Animal Crossing. take a shower. So this is the look we're going with right now. I realized that I never updated you guys about the bingo board, and then I wanted to update you about my progress in Song Below Water. So for the bingo board that Ebony made, I actually hit a bingo, which was really funny because I put it in the group chat and Ebony was like, oh my god, you hit a bingo, and I was like, what you talking about? And then I realized that I did it across. It was a cross that I hit a bingo. So now my goal is to black out the board because I'm actually very motivated to read right now, which hopefully means that I'm finally getting over my 2-month-long reading slump. But if I'm not, that's fine too, I guess. But yeah, I am a quarter of the way into A Song Below Water and I'm actually really enjoying this. This leans more on the contemporary side than fantasy. There's definitely fantastical elements, but it's more in a contemporary setting. So I don't know. I wouldn't call this magical realism. I really think it's a fantasy. It's more urban fantasy, I guess. So our main character, Tavia, is a siren, and in the beginning of the book there is a woman that was murdered by her boyfriend, and it has come out in the news that this woman was possibly a siren, and in this society sirens are hated. So they're kind of almost excusing this man's behavior because they're trying to say that it's possible that he was provoked by his girlfriend because she was a siren. And at the same time, she has a best friend slash sister named Effie who's been going through a lot of family problems, and now she lives with Tavia's family and they call each other sisters, and she's trying to figure out some stuff that's happening. It's pretty mysterious what's happening with her, but there's some weird things happening and you're figuring that out right now. So I'm really liking the writing style. I like the two main characters. I highly recommend the audiobook because it's dual perspective, and so it's also dual narrated, and both of the narrators are awesome. So I highly recommend it, but I'm gonna go because I don't want to be on camera anymore. And hopefully the next update I have finished this and completed my bingo board. Oh yeah, hey, what up? It's been days since I finished that 24-hour readathon and I just forgot to update you guys. So yeah, I finished this. I finished this in time for the end of the 24-hour readathon, so I successfully read 2 books and I'm out of my reading slump, even though I'm now just about to finish The Great Hunt and I feel like I'm sliding back into not ever wanting to read again in my entire life. Thank you so much, Robert Jordan, for that. But yeah, Song Below Water was pretty good. I gave it a 3.5, and I'm gonna be honest, it's one of those books that like when you finish it a few days later, you don't remember a lot of what was happening, but I really liked the themes in here. I think that if you're somebody who doesn't like themes that are on the nose, you might not like this. I loved the writing style a lot. It's actually made me want to pick up Mem, which is Bethany Seymour's other book. I think it's a novella though, and I believe it's adult horror or something like that, possibly science fiction. I don't know, it just says she is also the author of the adult novel Mem, so I guess it is a novel. Anyway, I love her writing style. I am gonna read the second book. I just don't know when I'll get to that. I did want to read it this month, but the audiobook's not available at my library, and I've been in an audiobook zone. I've been in the zone, the auto zone. But the audiobook isn't available, so I'm gonna wait for that. Maybe it'll be in a future reading vlog. I don't really know. My creative juices these days are running real low. I'm also very tired right now. This is set in a kind of fantastical world. I mean, it's like an urban fantasy more than anything else because it reads more on the contemporary side, but there are magical elements to it. So one of our main characters is a siren, and the unique thing about sirens is they're pretty much only Black women, and they're also the most oppressed within society. So there's a lot of conversations about that. And in the beginning of this book, a woman was murdered by her boyfriend, and it came out later in the investigation that it was possible that she was a siren. So now the investigation has kind of turned into this thing like, oh, well, he was probably provoked because she was a siren, so therefore it was her fault and he might get off. And so our main character is really struggling with that news and trying to sort of get politically involved in it, but also trying to figure out how she can continue to hide under the radar what she is, because it's sort of bubbling to the surface all the time. And then you have her best friend, which is the other POV in here, who is basically her sister and living with her, and she's going through this situation of weird things happening to her, and she's kind of blacking out and waking up in random places, and she doesn't know why and what's causing it. So obviously this book explores a lot about race and identity and how marginalized identities affect people and what ways they have to navigate society. But more, this is about the two main characters' bond and their sisterhood and how their relationship protects them in many ways and allows for them to have this really safe space within one another. And I just loved their relationship. I'm actually kind of sad that the next book isn't going to be about them. So I don't know if I said this before, I think it's A Chorus Rises is a companion novel. So it's actually about a character who is in here, but now you get their perspective. So I'm sure you'll hear about them because the character is involved in their lives to a degree, but I just liked both of their perspectives a lot and their personalities. So I am sad to be switching to a completely different character. But yeah, I did feel like this is a 3.5 really because of pacing. Despite this being less than 300 pages, it actually felt way longer than 300 pages. I'm not sure why that is. I know it's a pacing issue, but I think maybe it's because not a lot was happening to move this plot forward. And I think because one of the characters is blacking out a lot and doesn't know what's happening to her, there's a lot of moments of uncertainty for you as a reader. And at times I felt lost. I did have to reread a few chapters to like get my bearings in the book again because I thought I had missed a whole section of the book. But it's mainly because the character doesn't know what's going on, so you don't really know what's going on. It feels like it's missing pieces because I guess it's reflective of the character missing those pieces too. So despite me loving the characters in here and really liking the writing style, I did feel myself getting bored and like wanting it to move forward, which I don't often get in books that are especially character driven. But this is like a weird combination of a book that's not especially character driven. It has a lot to do with the characters, but the plot is more important. And I think because the pacing of the plot was awkward at times, this book felt way longer than it was. So I think that's my problem. I can't really put my finger on it, but I liked it enough to want to read the second book, and the writing style especially is something that I just fell into really quickly and loved. So I'm looking forward to the next one, even if it's a different character, and I wonder if the pacing will be different for that one. But yeah, that being said, I feel like this is a really successful 24-hour readathon for me because normally I go way over 24 hours. I never successfully read multiple books in a 24-hour period because I'm very distracted all the time. And I think I finally broke my reading slump. Maybe. I'll probably do this again soon because I do feel that this month, June, particularly, I'm already behind on my reading that I wanted to get done this month because I'm finally able to see my family. So I just already feel behind. So yeah, I'll probably do another 24-hour readathon closer to the end of the month. If any of y'all are interested in that, let me know and I can set something up where we can all participate in it. Yeah, that would be really fun. So let me know and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.